So we just picked up the brand new 2021 Phoenix 21 PHX. I'm really excited about this boat. I had a 21 PHX for 3 years. I ran it the first year on the Elite Series. We're going into year 2, and we've got a new rod coming, and it's right here. And this is the 2021 PHX. This is, it's got a new kind of color scheme. It's got a steel color, which is just a little bit different than their like gunmetal, which I think is pretty sharp. We're still missing a couple pieces of it, but I'm going to go through everything that is on the boat. I've installed a few things that I did have that they didn't do at the factory, and kind of got it tuned in. I'm about to put tackle in. I got to go pre-fish the next couple days here before cut off, and then hit the road to go get the wrap done. So let's start out here. Here it is. We've got the swing away tongue, pretty standard there. Really nice shiny finish on it, and you know, it turned out really well. We've got the oversized bow, which is right there, spare tire. We did get the Warrior wheels again. I think those things are pretty sharp. I really do like that Warrior package that they have. Fulton F2 winch here for cranking the boat on there. Also the Fulton jack right there as well for putting the trailer on the truck and unhitching it and unlatching it and all that stuff. Running the 112 Ultrex. Once again, there is the Bob's stabilizer, or the prop nut for the trolling motor, weedless wedge. The second series, the weedless wedge prop there on the Ultrex. I do have Panoptics hooked up on there. I'm still waiting on my Humminbirds. I'm pretty sure I'm going to run 360 as well. You kind of have to nowadays. I feel like, especially at the professional level. I got a Garmin 12 up there. And actually, here's something really cool that Phoenix changed on the PHX. I don't know if they changed it on last year's or this year's, but obviously I told you mine's like 3 years old. But they've got this stair step like stacker mount, but is also in fiberglass, so you're not gonna tear it as easily. Obviously fiberglass is a lot harder, and if you can mount it right to it, and you've got the stair step so you can stack 2 graphs on there. It's really nice. You've got your trim right here. I believe it was toggle switches or just like a little switch like this before. So this is what I did, or this is what they did change, I'm pretty sure, where you can just hit the button with your foot. You don't have to go up and down and touch the button with your finger, although you can. But it's nice not having to go up and down to trim the motor up, because sometimes it gets hung up back there, and it's nice that you don't have to do that. So you got your nav lights right there. There's the recessed trolling motor pedal, the foot switches right here, the power pull foot switches. We've got, here's the deck. Pretty good sized deck, and I'll show you some of the compartments here shortly. And this color scheme here as well. You can kind of see it's that white and steel color, as well as a little bit of black accents too. But there's those Warrior wheels. Trailer looks pretty sharp too. It's kind of got like a matte black finish. This is a paint over gator hide C-channel trailer, which the C-channel is primarily so you don't get a lot of water inside and it rusts out from the inside, which is a great feature, especially if you fish any kind of places that have brackish water, which will do it much quicker. There's the 21 PHX logo right there, and we'll work our way to the back here. So running 8-foot power pole blades. That's what I've run for the last, pretty much since they come out. So there's the 8-foot power pole blades. I did change it up. I do have a Bob's action jack plate right there. Pretty excited about that. I was already messing with it, and it's extremely quick and responsive. That's really what I was looking for. A lot of my friends from Florida and stuff had told me such good things, and I was really excited to get on with Bob's. Running 250 again. As I've mentioned before, you know, in some articles and stuff, the reliability is second to none. I mean, I've run a Yamaha my whole career. I've run 3 maybe 4 SHOs. I think 3. This might be the 3rd. So it's a very reliable motor. I turn the key, it starts. It's a workhorse. It's a 4-stroke. It's just a great all-around motor. It's got great performance. You know, I can usually get this boat in the low 70s with a full tournament load, which is great. So a super easy boat to drive. If you're one of those people that are worried about having to correct and, you know, correct for, you know, a boat that's kind of like chine walking, this is not really one that you have to drive very much. It's just a really stable, steady platform. It's a really good rough water boat all around. So let's jump in there and let's look at some of the compartments. So I'm getting on in here right now. We'll start here at the driver's console. So as I said, I didn't have my McGraths yet. I'm running another Solix 12 right there, as well as a Solix that I had mentioned up on the front, on the bow. Here's the Bob's tack right there. Here's the other tack for the like the fuel. It's got the water pressure, all that stuff. There's your RPMs. Here is they actually changed this a little bit too. I think this was actually like a softer or surrounding around the panel, and they made this all fiberglass too, which is really nice. Definitely less things can go wrong there. Here's my power pole switch. This one actually has heated seats, and that's not for me specifically. I had pre-sold the boat a year in advance, so the gentleman that wants to buy the boat, or has bought the boat, wanted the heated seats, so we went with those. But honestly, I'm not going to be complaining much because we've got a couple cold weather tournaments coming up, so that'll be really nice to be having those heated seats. So the seats, here are the seats, very comfortable. That was one thing when I switched to Phoenix I really enjoyed, was how comfortable the seats are. I've had some back issues, and you know, when I'm running rough water, I haven't had any problems with these seats, honestly. And that's really nice when you don't feel like you got ran over by a bus the next day, at least in your back. Here's the middle compartment. You got 2 cup holders. Here's your storage. It's actually a latch now. I think it was just kind of like a little pull, just like a piece of cloth here that pulled. Now you can lock it. So I just have some safety stuff in there. Here are the live wells. Open up, they're really big, they're really deep. Last year, my buddy Andy and I had almost 30 pounds of smallmouth in here at a tournament, and they had plenty of room. We split them up into 2 live wells, and they had plenty of room in these deep, big Phoenix live wells. These are also the slam latches, which I really like. These are a couple storage spaces here. Really deep, nice storage area. You've got this one as well that's pretty deep. Really a ton of storage in this boat, and that's another reason why I like it so much. So let's go in the back here. So I don't have my lithiums yet, so I just went to Walmart and got some EverStarts to run the trolling motor, but I do have an X2, a Northstar X2 cranking battery. This thing's pretty bad. Bad in a good way. And there's my power pole blade pumps right there. There is a main power switch underneath there, the Phoenix Ridge, which is really great. So you're not drawing a lot of power, you know, while the boat's just sitting. And then you also, I've got my, I'll go back in here a little bit, power pole charge, and hey, it looks like everything's charged. This thing is really nice. I just connected all of these when I got to Florida, and everything was good. It's so nice being able to control that all from that Sea Monster app. And you can see how much juice all of your batteries have, and you can kind of reroute where the power is going if need be. Especially in an emergency, you can emergency jump start your cranking battery to get your motor turned over, and you can pull juice from the trolling motor batteries, which is pretty nice. You got a main power right there for the trolling motor. And there's a spare, this thing's for a spare prop right there. The gas tank is right here. It's a big gas tank. I think it's, I believe it's 50 gallons, which it can hold a lot of gas. I mean, usually I don't have to fill up for a couple days if I'm not running, you know, crazy distances. So it's pretty nice not having to do that. So let's go up front here and look at the front out. So as I said, there's a really big middle compartment. Actually, let's look at some of this. So this is another nice feature about Phoenix. It's very functional for fishermen, and especially fishing like draw tournaments. So this is a box for your co-angler, or even if it's your team partner. You can lay your rods here, you can strap them down, but also you can put them in here if you'd like to, and just also use this area for storage, which is really, really nice. Especially back in my co-angler days, I always appreciated that when I ran in Phoenixes. So here's just a couple other little storage compartments here. Sometimes I'll just throw like a couple baits in there once in a while, or some scents or something that I'm gonna just need quick access to. This is a secondary, well, not necessarily a secondary, but it's a cooler. There's actually two coolers in here. I use this one as a cooler some of the time, but I honestly use the other one more so. There's a little tool holder here, very functional for fishing. You got your courtesy lights on the side there. And let's look at this middle compartment, which is gigantic. So they put this new organizer up here, which slides on this track. This is really cool. I'm excited to really mess with this and get all my tackle in here very shortly. Then, as you can see, there's rod holder, like tubes right back there to put your rods into if you want to put them along the sides. I usually don't use this for that, but if you want to, you can do that. So these are for storage boxes. You can shove a lot of baits and you know, hard baits, soft baits, jigs, spinner baits, whatever, a lot of containers, like 3700 size, into this space. Believe me, I've put, you know, almost, you know, enough that would fit the back, would fill the whole back of my truck. So it does have a lot of storage space, and it's really nice. I have used day trays. I usually have day trays right here. I think this one comes with those as well. There are trays that go back in this area as well. I took those out. I just like more access to my batteries and stuff. But you can use those for plenty of other things too. So here's the rod locker. There is two, but I only really use the one rod locker here. So you've got plenty of space. You can take out that tube, I believe. Some people just like to lay the rods in, but I like this. It's got this nice structure here for laying your rods down in and keeping them steady. Good rod lockers. I've always I've liked those for the last 3 years that I've run a PHX. And here's the other cooler I was talking about. There is a day tray in here. There's some call tags and stuff. You can take this out, and there's plenty more cooler space underneath there too. So you can put, you know, baits, call tags, whatever you want in this little day tray as well. And then this could be used as a secondary rod locker too, but I primarily use it for storage. You've got your fuse panel in here. I've got the box for the Panoptics right there, and you know, you've got your holder for the bow light there, and then you've got your stern light here too. All functional, very good use of space in here. I've got a board there for change of prop. I already put that in because you never know. And there is quite a bit of space. You can put stuff very far back in there. I usually will fill this one up pretty good by the time we are ready to get back to the tournament season. So here's where the base for your seats go. These are the Bob's Machine deck plugs, so you don't get a lot of more water coming over the bow, or if it's raining, you don't get more water getting in the boat and, you know, getting moldy underneath. Create some more stench or problems, you know, down the road. So you don't want to have that. Here is the front setup. So obviously I talked about the trolling motor and stuff. Just from this angle, let's look at that. That is a Bob's Machine Big D cord as well. I really like that. I ran that probably midway through last year after I broke one, and that thing is awesome. It's pretty unbreakable. But here's my setup. I will have another graph right there, but you can see how much space is up here on the PHX. It really has so much fishing room on this boat, and just functional in general, which is, you know, very much made for fishermen and bass fishermen. So this is really, you know, exciting time. We're into the season, and I'm pumped to have this new 21 PHX, and I hope you guys like the tour and follow us this season for more content. Hopefully we're catching some big fish throughout the country this season on the Bassmaster Elite Series.